one of the speakers at the Aspire conference was David Goggins. And I don't follow him, so I don't really know what all he talks about. But my impression of him is someone who does extreme physical feats and tries to motivate other people through the things he does, and tries to, kind of you know, get your lazy butt off the couch and, rah rah, go and like put in extreme effort to get results. Anyway, so I've never really gotten into his stuff, and but he apparently was quite popular with the crowd that was there, and in fact, maybe with the exception of maybe Marcus Lemonis, I would say he was probably the top personality there. I think Mark Cuban probably ranked under David Goggins, and but anyway, so he talked about the fact that he uses anger as his motivation and helps him to do these hard feats, helps keep him going, whatever it is. And it's pretty. Anyway, so that was his thing. Be angry. Use anger to fuel you. Right now, he's come through very tough. I think he had a very tough growing up environment, abusive. As a black man, he experienced racism and things like that. And so anyway, there was just a lot that he went through on his path, and to become a Navy SEAL and all that stuff. So then, I didn't necessarily agree with the whole being angry as a great motivator necessarily. At least I highly question it, we could say. And then later, one of the speakers, John Gordon, who has wrote a lot of books, who kind of came from, how would you say, had a tendency to be a negative person himself, or came from that background. Maybe his dad was very negative. He started, leaning into positivity. And he flat out came and said, like, anger is not the way to sustain long-term motivation. Like, love is a much better way to go. And this was a while after David Goggins' speech. So I'm quite sure David Goggins was long gone. And, even quite a few of the fans probably were gone by that point, too. But, it is interesting, Tom Brady, maybe Michael Jordan are said to, try to get themselves amped up with anger before games, right, to help them go out and really perform. And so I can see how that in the short term, depending on your personality and the type of thing you're engaged in, that a certain anger, a certain like proving myself to the world mentality can provide some strong motivation. But I do agree with John Gordon that I don't think anger as a long-term motivation is healthy, sustainable, whatever you call it. Now, maybe that's just because I don't like being mad that much, um, but I don't think it's really a great long-term motivator. Now, I will say that I do think that losing, like being challenged, I think is a motivator, can be a motivator, and even anger, a little bit of anger, may have its place. So, for instance, like when I get beat in pickleball, um, I sometimes, especially depending if I feel like I underplayed like if I didn't play my best, if I made mistakes that I should not have made, and then I can feel angry, but that I think helps keep me engaged with the sport, helps keep me interested in it and wanting to improve and do more and better. So I don't know that I think of like, wow, anger is really what fuels me on the court. No, I don't necessarily go out on the court angry, but but I do love a good challenge, right? And if I become a little angry once in a while in the process, then so be it. So maybe it has a little bit of limited value for keeping engaged on something, but overall, I don't think it is the either the scriptural way to be motivated or the just looking at it from a psychological level. Probably not the healthiest way to live.